channel, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Today is Friday, 17th of June. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin and crypto market. So currently the total cryptocurrency market cap is around 891 billion. That's pretty much down from 1.2 trillion over the last video. I wasn't able to make any videos over the last week as I was away. 24 hours volume 73 billion. Bitcoin dominance just over 44% and ETH dominance 14.7. So let's take a look at some moves in the market. So for the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is down 1.26% and it's down 29%, over 29% for the last 7 days. ETH is doing even worse, down 1.5 over the last 24 hours and over 36% over the last 7 days. There are a few actually winners here, and one of the clear winners is definitely Cardano. As you can see, it's completely outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum over the last 30 days. So actually Cardano, XRP, Solana are doing much better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Helium was another one that I was just looking at. It's doing really well. Every time helium goes down, look, it's only down 3% comparing to Bitcoin being down 30%. So like helium is definitely something I'm paying attention to, and maybe waiting for a right moment to buy. Every single time that I see helium is dropping to around like $8-9 area, it's just being completely bought back. Okay, so let's go to the trading view and let's have a look what has happened in the last week. Okay, so first let's take a look at RSI. Okay, so we are currently at 26.26 RSI, and I believe this is one of the lowest levels ever. As you can see, we only went down as far as around 32 in the March 22, 2020 pandemic drop, and the bottom of the last bear market in December 2018, we went as low as basically 30, maybe 29, and the previous bottom in 2015, we were just under 30, so like 27, 28. So yeah, you have to go as far as basically 2011 to have RSI extended as far as this. So yeah, is this the bottom or not? Who knows? Only time will tell. At the moment, as you can see, over the last week or 2 weeks, we have dropped basically by 30, almost 7%. So as you remember, we were basically stuck in this area of like 29 to 32,000 for a good couple of weeks before dropping and then dropping even further down. So this is basically us over that period of time. So we were basically in that range for around over a month, 31 days, before we dropped another 36%. So hopefully there's some short-term recovery coming, some bounce back to give everyone a hope. However, in the long term, if you look at the macro, what's happening in the world, the war in Ukraine still raging on, the food crisis and the lack of people to work, the 40 years high inflation and stuff like that, the situation doesn't look good at all. As you can see, currently Bitcoin stands at just over $20,000, $20,900, and that's a big drop from basically 30 something thousand couple of weeks ago, as you can see here from this range. If we take a look on the weekly time frame, and just zoom in. So if you actually look at this, basically the bottoms line, okay, now we have all of the bottoms connected, and how that ranges, to be honest, we are not quite there yet. We are quite far from this bottom. This currently sits at around like 12,000. We still have this box there. Those three horizontal lines are previous important levels, so previous all-time high and some support levels back there in 2018, 2017. As you can see, we are just touching this, and whether we're gonna bounce back up and then go down maybe to this area, or we're just gonna go straight down. So far from the all-time high in November, we are down, I believe, around 70%. Yeah, exactly 71%. So if you compare that to the last cycle peak and bottom, we went down basically 84. So we still have a long way to go if that's about to play back. However, you know, I really believe that everyone was expecting us to go to at least $100,000 last year. Okay, everyone was calling for 100,000, 150, 200, even as high as $300,000. Okay, however, we peaked at basically very modest 69,000. So with those diminishing returns, okay, we probably should see diminishing losses. And now, if you can actually hear what people are saying online, there's so much FUD around that everyone is calling for even 3,000, 2,000, 8,000, 7,000, you know, 10,000 Bitcoin. And will that happen? I don't know, only time will tell. However, me personally, I think, you know, this level around $20,000, it's a good time to start DCAing for Bitcoin, and we'll see what happens. So as you can see here, obviously we are quite far from the bull market support band. That's at around $35,000 now. Would be nice to go up and maybe meet it somewhere here, you know, halfway at $31,000 before maybe, you know, making another move down or move up. That would be actually quite cool to see. If we're gonna see, as we were saying before, we have finally reached the 200-week moving average, okay, and that currently sits at around 22,000. We are actually below it, okay. This is this weekly candle, and we're gonna see if that's gonna close down. As you can see now, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red weeks in a row. Then we have this like small green week, and we are having absolutely another 2 massive red weeks. We are already at this level of my box, and to me, this is anything within that range. It's actually a good buying opportunity for Bitcoin. So that's my current strategy at the moment. Obviously, that's not a financial advice. Please always do your own research. However, if you look at, you know, some of the indicators, you know, they're indicating that it's a good time to buy Bitcoin potentially. We haven't seen this on Puel multiple, this basically line indicating a bottom yet. As you can see, that showed up in June 2021, and before basically May 20 and the March 2020 drop, and before that it actually indicated pretty much, was very good at indicating the bottom of the market. So if you would bought, like, obviously here wasn't such a great idea, because from that point there we dropped another 50%. Yes, and then, you know, this would be actually a really good idea, but I don't know, we'll see if one will show up in the near future. And here would be actually not bad. You still would have probably another 17% down, but that's a good range, so let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Because as we can see in the previous cycles, okay, so basically this was the end of the peak of the last bull market, December 17, and then basically Bitcoin dominance has dropped really quickly down from around 70% to basically 35%, because in January 2018 we had the top peak of the bull market for all of the altcoins, okay, and then from that point Bitcoin started to regain dominance up to 50%, then it went down to 40 before climbing even higher to over 62%. Okay, and then it went slightly down, went sideways for a number of months before reaching basically around 73%. Okay, so when you look at that at this moment, okay, so let's try to find out the peak. Okay, so basically November, so it was definitely a slightly different. Okay, we came down here, this was basically the peak was around this time here, then we went down, and then we started to go pretty much a little bit up. Okay, but we went down as far as like 39% Bitcoin dominance before in the last number of weeks moving up to 48 and then dropping down to 45. This move was quite unexpected to me, because when Bitcoin dropped from basically 29,000 to 20 to the current level, and Ethereum dropped from pretty much around $2,000 area to like 1,000 or 1,100, they didn't take the other altcoins with them, and that was really strange. I don't remember if I've ever seen that happening. So it looks like usually the Bitcoin is the best performer in the market, but in this time the Bitcoin was actually one of the worst, and the Bitcoin dominance dropped by basically over 3-4% in a matter of week. Okay, so what I'm doing at this moment, I started to DCA Bitcoin, and I am hoping, because the Bitcoin dominance is quite low at the moment, I am hoping that over the next months the Bitcoin dominance will start going up, okay, maybe to 55, 60, even 65%, and in my opinion that will be a good time for me to basically sell Bitcoin and buy some of the altcoins that I was planning to buy. So that's my strategy. We'll see if that's going to work out. And yeah, only time will tell. So yeah, I think let's go back to the Bitcoin chart and let's just hide all of that for a moment. So what's the next move for Bitcoin? In a short term, I would expect a bounce back, at least by maybe like 50% of that move. So maybe to even back to the beginning of this candle, like 32% up to around 26, 27, maybe even 30,000 level, and then I don't know what to expect next. To be honest, we have a long way to go. If you look at the last bear market, it lasted pretty much around 1 year. Yeah, let's just go back there. So from the top, in basically December 17 to the bottom here in December 18, it was exactly 360, around 364 day, exactly full year, okay? And currently we are going down for 217 days, okay? So we're 31 weeks, okay? So we have at least another potentially 20 weeks of sideways or down action, maybe a little bit bounces back in the meantime before we're gonna hopefully start moving up. Okay, and if you look at the last bull cycle, from that point here, when we reach the bottom, okay, until new all-time high in April 2021, it was basically 854 days. So that's nearly 3 years, 2.5 years. So it would be nice to see, even if we're gonna go like sideways, a little bit down. I don't think that we have that much further down to go. We might go to 300-week moving average, which is here around $13,000. I think, yeah, if you look at that, we haven't even reached that in 2020. And yeah, as far as the history goes, we never actually broken to that level. We were kind of like halfway there. Yeah, so to me, if we're gonna go to a level of like under 20, like maybe sub 18, $17,000, that's probably as good as it's gonna get. It's probably one of the best opportunities of your lifetime to buy Bitcoin at those prices. And not financial advice, but that's basically what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's end the video here. Thanks for watching. If you like the content and would like to support the channel, you can subscribe, share, like, do all of those things, comment below. Thanks, see you next time.